Our sit-ups with an overhead squeeze press are working on our abdominals, a little bit of those hip flexors, as well as the front heads of those shoulders, a little bit of triceps, and a little bit of upper chest. Starting position for this one, you're going to get in the same position you would for a normal sit-up. Remember, foot positioning controls how tough this movement is for you. Having those legs extended on out straight will make it a little easier. Having those legs bent with those feet in right next to you is going to make that sit-up portion a little bit harder. So start with those legs out, and then you can start to bring them in if you want a little bit more of a challenge on this exercise. So we're going to grab our weights. We're going to come down onto our back, find that foot position, whether it's straight, whether it's close on in. We're then going to bring those dumbbells up and together. So getting in that position where we would for kind of a squeeze press. If you've done our chest exercise where we're laying on our back doing that squeeze press, that's the position you want to get into. Dumbbells are staying squeezed together. That's why it's called a squeeze press. We're going to keep those arms pointed straight to the ceiling as we come up into that sit-up, pushing straight on up with those dumbbells. When we get up to this top portion, we're going to lower those weights down to the chest, and then we're going to press them right back up. And then go in reverse, control back down again. Keep them nice and straight, press on up to that seated position, lower down to the chest, press back up, and then go back into that sit-up. Most common mistake made on this exercise is going to be using those dumbbells to swing. So remember, what we want to focus on is those weights pointed towards the ceiling and going kind of straight up and straight down. A little bit of forward movement is okay. That's going to be natural as we come up. But we want to, as much as we can, push straight up towards the ceiling, and then on that descent, straight down. A lot of times I'll see people kind of go like this and swing them up to where those dumbbells are now way up over my wrists. They're not up over my chest. And then same thing, counterbalance them as they come up. What you're doing when you're performing it that way is we're using the momentum of those arms to kind of get us up instead of making sure that the abs are the ones doing the work. Another common mistake on this exercise is not keeping a good posture at the top. Focus on sitting nice and tall as you can at the top when you do that press, and not kind of hunching over like this and rounding that back. Last most common mistake made on this one is not knowing when to do that press. A lot of times I'll see people bring their hands down here and kind of press up as you go. What that's doing is it's emphasizing more of the shoulder press and less of the abs, because you're not having to come up and do that sit-up while those weights are above you. This variation of this movement is focusing a little bit more on the abs. So I want those arms nice and straight as you come back down. I want them nice and straight as you come back up. And then I just want you isolating that shoulder press at the top seated position of this movement.